Hey, Bren here, and in this video, you're going to learn how to set up, deploy, and run Facebook and Instagram ads, the type that is specifically designed, and the only type that is specifically designed to make you money. So let's dive in. Cannonball! Now, the big question is this: what is the only type of ad specifically designed to make you money? And that is conversion ads. They're called specifically conversion ads, and they are only one type of ads inside the Facebook and Instagram ad platform. And when you go inside your Facebook ad account and you go to create a campaign, you'll notice that under campaign objective, you have all of these different options. These are all the different types of ad campaigns you can run. It's not awareness, it's not consideration, it's conversion, and specifically conversion ads. These ones right here, these are going to be your new best friend. So if you're not familiar, in this video, you're going to get familiar with conversion ads. And if you're already familiar with conversion ads, I'm going to show you some things that you thought you knew, but that you actually don't about conversion ads that'll enable you to run these even more powerfully. So in order to make money with your ads and to be successful in doing that, it's absolutely necessary to know how to utilize and deploy these type of ads correctly in order to create winning money-making Facebook and Instagram ads consistently. You have to know the right and wrong way to use conversion ads and how to not screw these up, okay? Because look, most people get these wrong and their campaigns don't work and they start losing money simply because they don't know how to set up and deploy and run conversion ads properly. But not you. We're not gonna let that happen to you. All that stops here, because in this video, I'm going to show you the right way to set up conversion ads for either Facebook, Instagram, or both, and how to run them effectively to get you paid, okay? Okay. All right, we're now inside the Facebook Ads Manager again, and what you see on the screen is the first step you must follow when creating any Facebook or Instagram ad, and this is the objective. You can think of each ad objective like its own ad type. So the ad objective defines a corresponding ad type, okay? Whatever the ad objective you select, that is also the type of ad you'll be running in that campaign. Makes sense, right? Facebook and Instagram are literally inventing new types of ads all the time, like literally inventing new types of ads that never existed before. And they just all of a sudden show up inside your ad account, which to me is fucking amazing. But there's so many different types of ads now and objectives. So I'm not even going to count them, because I'm sure by the time you see this video, there will already be even more. Just know this, there are a lot, and in this video, we're going to talk about my personal favorite and also the one that you really need to know about more than anyone else, because it's the one for making money, which we've already said. So excited! So upon entering your Facebook ad account, when you click the big green create button, you'll see the first step, which is choose your objective. It says specifically choose your marketing objective. Now, what I want you to notice is there's two ways to view this. Number one, quick creation, and number two, guided creation. So if you see this button in the top right-hand corner, you can click that and it'll give you these two different ways of viewing the same screen. If you're new, I recommend using guided curation because it just makes it a little bit easier. Now, here's what Facebook has to say about choosing a marketing objective. Facebook offers many advertising objectives to help you reach your business goals. Your advertising objective is what you want people to do when they see your ads. For example, if you want to show your website to people interested in your business, you can create ads and encourage people to visit your website. When you create an ad, you first choose your objective. That's what we were just saying. The objective you choose aligns with your overall business goals. Awareness, objectives that generate interest in your product or service. Consideration, objectives that get people to start thinking about your business and look for more information about it. And in conversions, objectives that encourage people interested in your business to purchase or use your product or service. And as we've already said, in this video, we're talking about conversions. So from this, we can see that all of our objectives fall into these three categories: awareness, consideration, and conversion. And this right here is an excellent way to think about not just your Facebook and Instagram ads, but all of digital marketing in general, because it's an accurate view of the process most people follow when buying something online. First, people start with awareness. They must become aware of what you've got before anything can happen, of course. Then there's consideration, which is logically what follows next. And then, of course, our favorite, conversion. And while this three-part process makes sense, the first thing to know is that it is possible and sometimes does happen all in one step. Facebook's not going to tell you that, but that's what I know, and that's what advertisers that do what I do know. We know that all of these three things can happen in one step. Now, that will never be the majority of people and will actually always be a small portion of your audience, but some people are actually ready to buy and are actually just waiting for someone like you to come along and offer them what they want. So know that this is possible too. There's people that know this is possible, and there's people that don't. And the people that know that this is possible make more money. So know this. It does usually take some time to convert people, but it doesn't have to. That's what I'm saying, okay?
Okay.
So here's what's really important to get here. Different people are in different places when it comes to their levels of awareness of two things. Number one, their level of awareness of their problem. And number two, their level of awareness of your offer, meaning what you sell. This is one of the most fundamentally important things to know about digital marketing, and something a lot of people are missing. So really get this. Again, people are at different levels of awareness of their problem, which they're trying to solve, and your offer, which of course is the solution to their problem. According to legendary direct response marketer Michael Masterson, the question that makes the biggest difference in sales often goes unasked by marketers. And in his book, Great Leads, he makes the case that the most important question to ask yourself before formulating any marketing campaign is this: what does my prospect already know? Again, what does my prospect already know? He's saying this is the question that makes the biggest difference. So if that's the question, how do we even know how to answer that question in the first place? Exactly. Fortunately, years ago, a legendary copywriter and super brilliant guy named Eugene Schwartz came up with a definitive response. Right now, I'm going to introduce you to this framework that he created called the 5 levels of customer awareness. In his book, Breakthrough Advertising, Schwartz explains this thing called customer awareness, and he mapped out the 5 distinct levels of customer awareness. I'm going to bring you through these right now. Level 1, unaware. These are prospects who don't realize they have a problem. They simply don't know a better way exists. If you're advertising a new product that addresses a major drawback of previous solutions in the marketplace, most of your prospects may be at this level. Level 2, problem aware. Problem-aware prospects know they have a problem and have some idea of what that problem is, but they may not completely understand it. They haven't dealt with this problem before, so they're totally unfamiliar with possible solutions. This is level 2. Now, level 3, solution-aware. Solution-aware prospects know about solutions like yours, but don't know your specific product or service. This is level 3. Level 4, product-aware. These prospects know your product, but haven't bought it yet. They're familiar with your competitors' offerings. They're just not sure if your solution is best for them. This is level 4. And then level 5, most aware. These are your best customers, your repeat buyers. They're brand loyal and they're enthusiastic about your products or services, or whatever it is that you sell. This is level 5. Now, if we reflect back on these 5 levels of awareness, you can see that Facebook's 3 different phases, which we talked about earlier, awareness, consideration, conversion, are very similar to this. But what's the most important thing to know here? The most important thing to know here is awareness. That's the real takeaway. In order to utilize conversion ads effectively, you first want to know the level of awareness of the audience you're speaking to. Note that this is important because it will inform how we write our ads. And also, it will tell us what action we're aiming to cause, which is actually a necessary requirement for setting up our actual conversion ads to work. This is something called the conversion event, and it's the most important part of setting up conversion ads. That's exactly what I'm going to show you now here. So now that you've got all that, let's dive into actually setting these things up, okay?
Okay.
Here are the 4 steps to creating conversion campaign ads. Step 1. Click create and choose your objective, conversions. Step 2, name your campaign. Step 3, name your ad set. And then step 4, select your conversion event. And that's it. So let's do it. All right, step 1, click create and then choose our objective. In this video, as you know, we're only dealing with conversions, so we're going to choose conversions. And you'll see that here in the conversion phase. Step 2, name your campaign. Do not overlook this part and don't treat it lightly because, Well, it's just important to name things in a way that's organized and easy to keep track of. Here's a straightforward and simple naming convention that I can recommend using. Identifier, date, name of offer, and then campaign objective. So name your campaign, switch off campaign budget optimization, and then click continue. Congratulations and welcome. You have just arrived at the ad set level. Your Facebook and Instagram campaigns have 3 levels to them, as we've already talked about in this course. The campaign level, ad set level, and the ad level, in that order. And this is the one that's really the most fun because damn, there are so many options. So next, let's name our ad set. For now, let's just name it A01. And after that, the first thing you want to get straight is your conversion event. Get this one thing right, because if you don't, you won't even be able to run your conversion ads correctly. This is really the key to conversion ads working. Your conversion event. So before we go any further, let's be perfectly clear and ask the question, what exactly is your conversion event? And your conversion event is the action you want someone to take after clicking on your ad. Again, your conversion event is the action you want someone to take after clicking on your ad. And this is so important because when you select a conversion event, you're selecting what to optimize for. And so the algorithm, once you do that, will start to show your ads to people in your audience who are likely to take the specific action you're aiming for. Make sense? And this one piece here is one of the most important secrets for how to scale ad campaigns to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a day and beyond. Now let's talk about how to choose a conversion event. Now, years ago, when I first started running these type of ads, I would get distracted by my excitement about what I was going to say in my ad. I was only thinking about the ad. And then in the midst of that, I would really forget to consider what my conversion event would be. Do not let this happen to you. One of my favorite sayings is, winners anticipate, losers react. And it's really true, especially in business. So if you want to win, you get to anticipate the fact that you need to know what your conversion event is going to be ahead of time. This really is the single most important part of any conversion ad campaign because it's the basis for the ad and the entire campaign itself. Your conversion event is essentially why your conversion ad will exist. To choose the right conversion event, just ask yourself this question. My ad will exist to get people to do what? We already know that the answer is going to be some type of conversion because these are conversion ads, but what type of conversion is the question we need to answer. And to know what type of conversion, let's look at the Facebook pyramid. Here you can see 4 different options: leads, add to cart, initiate checkout, and purchase. Out of these 4, which do we want the most? Of course, it's going to be purchase. The answer most often will likely be to buy. So we'll refer to this as a purchase because that's the language Facebook uses. Okay, so our answer is purchase. Seems pretty simple, right? Turns out it's not quite that simple. There's a very important detail about conversion ads that most people don't know about. And as a result of this lack of knowledge, they waste a ton of money. Remember, the algorithm needs conversion events to be able to work. So if no one is converting, which in this case means if no one is taking the action that you've selected as your desired conversion event, then the algorithm has no data and your campaigns will not work effectively. And I have a name for this. I call it death by suffocation, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're suffocating the algorithm and your campaign dies. So we already know by now that in order to set up a conversion ad properly, we have to select the most appropriate conversion event. And you could think of it like every time someone takes that action, the conversion event you've selected, it's like giving your conversion ad oxygen. And you could think of it like every time someone takes that action, the conversion event you've selected, it's like giving your conversion ad oxygen. And the more oxygen your ads get, the healthier they will be and the bigger and faster they can grow. But if you select a conversion event that no one is taking, or just as much of an issue, if you select a conversion event that not enough people are taking, you'll suffocate the algorithm and your conversion ads will die. And the worst part is you probably won't even know about it because your campaigns will just continue spending money, which is not good. So know that these type of ads have the biggest potential for going big, but they also need sufficient oxygen. And of course, by oxygen, we mean a sufficient number of conversion events. But how much oxygen is sufficient? Let's talk about that. Facebook says you need to be getting at least 15 to 25 conversions per week for Facebook to be able to optimize for a particular conversion event. And of course, more is definitely better. If you aren't getting 15 to 25 purchases a week, then there's no point in optimizing your ad set for the purchase conversion event. So if that's the case, then what's the solution? Solution is you need to move up the funnel and select a conversion event that is being completed at least 15 to 25 times per week. Now here's what Facebook says about this. Your approach to driving website sales should be guided by how much activity is happening on your website. Find this out by checking how many pixel events occurred on your website in the last month. A pixel event occurs when someone takes an action on your website. Here are some benchmark numbers to give you context. If there were less than 500 pixel events on your website in the last month, you should build up data and an online customer base before you start using conversion optimization. If there were more than 500, but less than 10,000 pixel events on your website in the last month, you should start experimenting with conversion optimization and intent-based targeting. And if there were more than 10,000 pixel events on your website in the last month, you're in a position to make conversion optimization the focal point of your advertising strategy. All right, now let's just pause right there and take a breath, pump the brakes a bit. Since this is starting to get a little bit complicated, I'm gonna make this dead simple for you, okay? Have a look at the conversion pyramid. This is the typical process a visitor follows when going from an ad to becoming a customer. As you can see, we start as a lead, then add to carts, initiate checkouts, and finally purchase. So let's assume you're getting 100 add to cart conversions, but only 14 purchase conversions per week. In that case, you would want to test optimizing for add to cart conversion events instead of purchase events. Make sense? It's really that simple. You just look at the total and then decide whether or not it's sufficient. And an important detail here to keep in mind, just to go back for a second, is this note that the number of pixel events is a measure of all the activity on your website, not just the activity driven by your Facebook ads. So that's good news. Again, the number of pixel fires, meaning the number of conversion events you see, is a measure of all the activity on your website, not just the activity by your Facebook ads. So it's the overall total of all of that activity being recorded on your website. If you're already getting traffic, then this is easy to determine. So you just use Facebook's instructions and have a look at your pixel data. The good news, of course, is that as your campaigns start working and you start increasing your budgets and scaling up, you'll start getting more purchases. And at this point, you can then create a new ad set, setting the conversion event for purchase. So you have two different options. You can move the conversion event down the funnel, or you can move the conversion event up the funnel. And the point here is simple. If you're not getting enough conversions, which is to say, if you're not getting sufficient oxygen, just move the purchase event up the funnel. For example, going from purchases to add to carts. So we're just going to determine what to set our conversion event for by looking at the conversion pyramid and then identifying which event is the furthest one down that gets at least 15 to 25 conversions per week. That's it. Now, if you don't have traffic yet and you're starting from nothing, then you'll have to use the guess and check method. And by that, I just mean make your best guess and get going. And then after 2 or 3 days, determine if the conversion event you selected is getting at least 3 or 4 conversions a day. If not, you turn the ad set off, launch a new one with a different conversion event higher up the funnel. Or if it is getting sufficient data, you just let it run. So now you know how to set up conversion ads properly. Remember the key, it's all about the oxygen. 15 to 25 conversions per week is the real thing you want to remember here. And to wrap this up, I want to show you a real live case study here. This message on the screen is from a consulting client of mine who is really struggling, named Michael, with a business called GMU, or Grill Master University. And he was having trouble getting his ad campaigns working. And they had hired an agency, and that agency really hadn't gotten the results they wanted. So you can see here he says, hey man, I'm really struggling to get this GMU thing to convert to paid traffic. We're making about a sale every 2 to 4 days just through organic traffic, but I just can't seem to crack the paid traffic side of things. Any chance we can schedule a call? So that was before. And after taking a look inside his ad account, I could see that his major problem was that his conversion campaigns were not getting enough oxygen. And I taught him exactly what I just taught you in this video. Literally the exact same thing. And here's what he said after. Hey Brent, I want to thank you so much again for jumping on a call with me to help me get my Facebook ad sorted. In the last week, I ended up fixing the way I was using my pixels, so everything is working properly now. Changing my objective away from purchases to add to carts has made a massive difference. We were barely making any sales with the purchase conversions objective because it wasn't warmed up properly. With the add to cart objective, we're now doing 2 to 3 sales per day like clockwork at a much lower CPA. Going to let the purchase conversions warm up a bit more before we switch the objective back, but that little tip alone has easily saved me a couple $1,000s in my testing budget. So there you have it. As you can see, this thing really does make a difference. And now that you've watched this video and now that you know how to set up conversion ads correctly, the same thing is possible for you.